Welcome to another edition of 42 Straight Years In on my Crackhead update. I got a advocate involved in Carol's case. And this lady said they're going to place a lien against her family members to get 6 years of payment back. And they found a facility for her to live in. And they were really pissed. This lady got out of prison 6 years ago, and her family let her reside with them. And she got her check started, and they put her out. She don't drink alcohol, but she on the drugs. I guess that's worse. And she been living on the street for 6 years and get a SSI check every month. They kept her back pay and everything. So the advocates say she will make sure she have a place to live, and they stopped the checks. They said they'll restart it, find her another payee once they work all the bullshit out from her family members. And she seemed to be in good cheer. You know, she was happy. She hadn't had no drugs. She was living over there at the hotel I got her. You know, things probably gonna work out good for her. I did the best I can do. I really hate to get involved. I don't like putting authorities in no one's life, but that's a situation where you ain't got no other option. Hell, ain't nothing I can do. I can't contact the government and tell them to cut the checks off and to get all her money back. Ain't nothing I can do. But they got people who specialize in this. So I went to this organization. They located in Fort Worth, and that lady took it from there. So that's my Crackhead update. Y'all know what it is. Get your motherfucking shanks out, and let's get ready to ride. For small investors, mutual funds is probably the best way to go. But you got to be careful when you purchase mutual funds. They got load and no load. No load means none of your money is taken out up front. If you invest $1,000, that $1,000 is fully invested. On a load fund, different mutual fund families got different policies. Some of them got a 5% load. Some of them got an 8% load. So if you invested $1,000 in this mutual fund and it had a 5% load, that means only $950 of your money goes to work for you. Now there's several factors involved. That fund might have high earning potential, so it'll balance out. You got to explore your options and crunch the numbers. And all mutual funds have a expense ratio. That's for operating the fund. Now you want to try to find a fund with the lowest expense ratio, preferable anything under 1%. Now me, I got 2 index funds, and I got a real estate investment trust fund. And both of them, all 3 of them are performing good. But that's an easy way to start for a small investor. You can just invest what you can. Once you get the minimum, you got to have the minimum, whatever that fund requires in order to get in the door. And after that, just invest in instruments, just what you can afford. And don't take the dividends out because you just started. Let it roll over. Compound interest is a motherfucker. Eventually it adds up. But you got to start some damn where. Can't keep going through life intending to do something. You got to start somewhere. Now in my case, if I'm able, people talk about past racial things in the past. Look at what I was under. Man, at Ramsey, they call everybody a nigger, not a nigger, a nigger. It's a difference, you know. And I didn't let that change my mind or my course on nothing. I stayed in that college program, and I try to stay positive every day. And I brought that same attitude out here. That's why I was able to survive when shit was going bad for me. It wasn't going bad. I didn't have no support. So naturally, you're going to have problems out on the outside. You ain't got no support. Man, shit, it's easy to go back down that old road or hook up with some guys you know from prison who in the criminal activity, and you know any damn thing, your ass is locked right back up. I've seen it happen too many times. That's how it plays out. But I would say to myself every day, I'm going to do something that's beneficial to me to try to help me. And I didn't even have no damn where to live, and I thought that way. Shit, when I was between jobs, I go to that car auction and drive cars just to keep me some money going where I can eat and pay my cell phone bill and buy some cigarettes. That's about all the money I would make. Then gradually I got where I could pay for a motel. That shit adds up. $50, $55, $60 a night, that adds up. So I ain't never have no large chunk of money to work with. But I knew eventually something was going to give, because I damn sure wasn't going to give up. It's easy to give up. You can surrender anytime you want to. And they got a nice cubicle for your ass to sleep in a prison. I guarantee you that. They got one for you. You do the wrong crime. You listen at that overcrowding shit if you want to. Commit the wrong crime, miraculously they find a spot for you in that prison system. You know, most of it is a wasted effort and futility. Them young guys out here doing all this robbery and killing, they ain't getting no fucking money. A $600 robbery, and you end up getting 60 years in prison. You gotta serve 30 flat years to be eligible for parole. Just mean eligible, don't mean you going nowhere. During that 30 years, you might have had 25 disciplinary cases. That don't mean you going nowhere. You know, I don't know nothing that's fun about no damn prison. Right now, I can tell you everything those guys doing. I can tell you all the shit they can't do too. Prison is an easy life. That bullshit game they got, man, it's all game. There's some guys in there that's straight up. There's some that's full of bullshit. You gotta use your discernment to figure out who is who. Now, yeah, on the lady who be eating with me at the restaurant, her name is Liz, and she's 35 years old. She really laid back, and she an activity partner. So, I enjoy being around her, and she's fun to be around. She always got some shit going on. Now, once at the Ramsey unit, I was in the office working, and this guy knocked on the door of Cat's office. Cat is the senior warden at the Ramsey unit. During that time, he was the only warden. Back in the day, they didn't have a assistant warden, just one warden. But he ran two prisons. They had assistant warden over at Ramsey 2. But Cat got to go over there occasionally because he run both of the prisons, Ramsey 1 and Ramsey 2. They didn't have Ramsey 3, which now is a terror unit. That unit didn't even exist back in the day. And guy knocked on the door. Cat not gonna answer the door. I gotta stop what I'm doing and go answer that fucking door, see who it is. So I go out, guy say, hey man, Cat doing any favors? Man, it's important. I need to see Cat. So I asked Cat, you doing any favors? He said, yeah, send him on in. So I tell the guy, come on in, man. He get in there, he said, say Cat. He said, I got a I got a motherfucker down here that killed my mother, man. He killed my mother during a robbery. Just dry ass shot her for no fucking reason. Just trying to get rid of the witness. Cat say, who is this guy? He tell him. Cat tell me to pull his file up. He looked through it. In your file, they got what they call commitment papers. They got a summary from the district attorney. They got your indictment and your judgment and sentence in their commitment papers. And all the inmates' master file. So I pull his file out. Cat read it. Yes, give me. That's your mother's name? He say, that's my mom, Cat. That son bitch shot my mom. He say the hard part, he didn't get but 12 years. They let him plead guilty for the robbery, and he dismissed the damn murder. He ain't even get punished for killing my mom. I remember this guy. We was at a Mother's Day convention in the gym where they allow your mothers to come in and spend the whole day with you. Go eat with you, hang out in the gym. They play music. They got refreshments. All type of activity going on. And this guy was serving some of the refreshment. And he just broke down and fell on the floor and started crying. Now, Cat got to do something about this. All these mothers in here looking, and they want to know, what is this grown man crying about? He's supposed to be a hardened convict. He was thinking about, I remember him saying, man, if my mama was alive, she'd be here to see me. I ain't got nobody here to see me. And now this guy who had killed his mom lived on the same cell block. He had just came in that afternoon, well, that morning, the chain bus rides at Ramsey in the morning time. Got signed to his cell block, which was 7 Wing. And back then, we all had our names on our shirt and on the back of your pants. Had your name. So he looked at the dude's name. He don't want to charge him up. So he tell Cat, he said, Cat, I want to kill this motherfucker for killing my mom. Cat telling me, say, I can't give you permission to kill no other inmate. He said, you got to take that up on yourself. He said, you in prison for murder already. You got a life sentence. I didn't tell you to kill that person, but you did it. So, likewise, I'm not going to tell you to kill this man. He said, Cat, killing him ain't no problem. Now, Cat told him this. He said, if someone killed my mother, my wife, or my kids, I guarantee you I won't ask a warden permission to do a damn thing. If you harm my family, you a dead man. I guarantee you I'm going to kill you. He said, now, your mom is speaking through me. You may not understand what I just told you, but think about it very carefully, what I just said. He said, but Cat, I don't want to get another life sentence. He said, yeah, I see you are eligible for parole next year. He said, but this will go, if you harm that guy, this going to go as a disciplinary against you. He said, well, what punishment will I receive? Cat tell him all the time, same thing. He said, I'm going to give you the lowest punishment I possibly can come up with. He said, I guarantee you can handle it. He said, all right, Cat, it was nice talking to you. He said, but you ponder on what I just told you. So that guy left out. And later I went to the cell block. I had a college class that afternoon to get my textbooks and take them back to Cat's office so I can get a jump start on my class. This guy had a meat cleaver he had stole out of the butcher shop and sharpened it up. That guy was standing up against the wall talking to some more guys out of Houston, riding with him because he knew guys want to talk to him on what's going on the outside. He's standing over there just riding, telling them about all the money and all the drugs and all the shit he did on the outside. Man, that dude walked up with that meat cleaver. He tried to cut his head off, but when the guys standing around seen it, they flinched, so he flinched and it went through his shoulder blade. Went through his collarbone. And that guy took out running. He holding it, blood skirting everywhere. Man, he chopped this fucking dude to pieces. I mean, it always got to me when I hear a grown man beg for his life. He was saying, somebody help me. Y'all get it, man. What did I do to you? Dude didn't explain nothing to him. He was steady chopping his ass up. He chopped on him so long till somebody hollered out, say, man, the dude is dead. And he stopped chopping him and turned around and looked to see who the hell was. And he stood up, looking around like, yeah, you want to get involved with this? I'll send your ass, I'll chop your ass up just like I did this motherfucker. And they start hollering fight on 7 Wing. So all the inmate guards ran down, Bear, Cat, they came down. And that was him. Couple guys out of Houston, because Houston, Ramsey unit was dominated by Houston guys. So some of the inmate guards, they knew this guy from the outside. So they attempted to jump this guy after he done laid the meat cleaver down. That was a damn fool move. Shouldn't have put the meat cleaver down until Cat got there. Or Bear, they ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. They ain't gonna even handcuff you. And Cat told him, leave him alone. And one turnkey hit him again. Cat went over there and laid his ass out. Told me to change his job, put his ass in the fields. He said, I told you, don't hit that man, leave him the fuck alone. So they walked him on down to Cat's office. Cat said, you want to go to court right now? He said, yes, sir, I want to go and get it over with. So Cat told me to type the disciplinary for inmate fighting with a weapon. And he gave him 3 hours in the jailhouse. That was his punishment. And after 3 hours, he let him go on back to 7 Wing, wrote it up as an inmate died during the course of an altercation. That was their favorite words. I got to get this video uploaded.